Hey, it's Nick, live from the blanket fort once again. And as always, I want to preface this by saying that I might smoke on camera, but here is a bag of tobacco, so no funny stuff. So, this time around, as you can see, I said in a previous video that pretty soon you'd see me with short hair, because it helps to keep me cool. And then I keep my hair longer in the winter, so that it'll keep me warm, so that's a big thing that I do. Now, I'm trying to get a little bit of smoking in because today we're actually going to venture outside of the blanket fort. I'm going to show you outside and show you some of the plans that I have for this season and future seasons as well, for things that I'm going to do around the house, mostly garden stuff, but that helps to conserve energy and to capture energy that's already there, like the sun and the wind and the air and all that. And by doing those things, you don't have to do things like, say, buy groceries. And a lot of those are shipped all over the place and waste just tons of energy. And it's a good and healthy way to not only save in your own life, but to stay healthy, of course. So, let me get a little bit of this in. And we'll take a trip outside. Okay, so let's start heading out. Okay, I'll have to turn that light off on my way out of here because that's a 45 watt CFL there. That uses a lot of juice. I only use that when I'm doing filming. Actually, here, let's wander over here. It might be a little bit too dark to see it. Here is my, oh shoot. I'll have to bring it over into the light outside. And I'll probably have to readjust our lighting. So, I completely forgot that I left my bicycle outside. Whoops. We had a big, let me, close down the iris. It's got a lot of paint everywhere. We had a big storm. But here are, this is all seeds, lots of them. I've got lots of different seeds for making my garden. Got seeds and seeds, and more seeds. Lots of peppers. I'm going to be planting potatoes, which I'll have to get seed potatoes. I've got all kinds of stuff planned for that. Let me set down the camera. I've got everything from food to stuff to make tea, things of that sort. Let me put the seeds back inside. Okay. So, looks like I've got something dirty on the lens. I didn't realize that. You'll have to deal with that for now. But this tree is actually, oh gosh, actually I'm going to pause this and we'll come back to this. I'll clean that lens up a little bit. Okay, there we go. I'll just give a little tour real quick. Here's the front yard. I turned down the ISO a little bit too, so that you could get a little bit better of an image. Let me focus a little bit further out. There's my front porch. Of course, I got my tree right here. Here's one side with my shed and a tree over there and my hose and all that. That's part of my sewer system so that everything doesn't get clogged up. Oh, I think I need to replace that screen actually too. It seems to be degrading. But that's part of the system so that the basement doesn't flood. Got a little area over here. All that stuff will have to be pulled up because I'm going to be planting things that I want to put in myself. There's the side. There's a bush. There's the shed. And quite a few things that I'd worked on already before winter hit. But, there used to be a shed back here. And, oh gosh, it looks like I got quite a bit of flooding over there. But there used to be some of these ties over here. Used to block off both that area over there and this area here. But I removed all that stuff, and it blocked off an area over in this area here. There's a burn pile, this bush here, which has very beautiful flowers. Later on, another bush here. There used to be a garden in this area. There was a lot of cat litter that was put into that area right there. So that actually has to be completely removed because that's not biodegradable. Back here, which is reduced in size a lot, it's worked out really well. This is my compost. I put a lot of stuff in there and it's hardly anything. It just looks like a patch of stuff. But right here is a big tree that's dying that needs to be removed, and all the rocks next to the shed actually come from here because I've been slowly taking out all the rocks, and I'll try to reuse them in, I'm not sure what, but I'll find a project for them. But yeah, this whole area back here will be, there's my main cart for doing yard work. There's a little cart that I built for attaching to my bicycle. But this whole area, like that, is going to be removed. Those flowers there, that stuff there, that tree there, and that bush over there. It's all going to be removed, and this area here, which is more rectangular from the shed over to there, it's all going to be dug up and made into 4 separate gardens for proper rotation of crops. So certain crops will go, there'll be one garden there, one garden all the way back there, one garden back there, and one garden here. And every year they'll be rotated around to keep the earth able to sustain that. And then eventually this one area that's left over here, because all 4 of these will be of the same size, eventually in this area will be some fruit trees, not the smallest kind and not the full-size kind, but the in-between size. I can't remember what that's called, but they'll be offset for just as my plants are always offset as well, to in other words, no plant is perfectly, like one plant, and then one plant. There's no squares. It's always offset so that I can have the maximum amount of space used. But in this area will be fruit trees. And eventually, this, what used to be a small garage, I'd like to use that pad to actually build a small hen house for some chickens. And then I'd like them to actually, once the fruit trees are built up well enough, they'll basically have the run of the area underneath the fruit trees. There'll have to be some protection for them at first, but eventually I'm hoping that the cover of the trees will provide them with enough safety from other flying animals that might see them from above and try to attack them and kill them. And of course, maybe... yeah, and that brings me to, they'll also be kept in, because around the entire property, I'd like to put in fruit and nut bushes. Basically around the entire house, fruit and nut bushes. And you'll notice there's the sun out there. We got a lot of cloud cover, so it's kind of okay to point the camera in that direction. And I have the iris all the way down. But this area here, across this entire area, is where the sun shines the most. So this side of the house gets a lot of sun, so the ones that can produce very good in sun will be here. And then coming up front, it won't get as much sun in some places. I've planned this out on paper, showing, you know, where the most sun is, and certain, definitely not nuts. There are no nut bushes that I know of that can produce in low light, but there are some berry bushes that can. And the ones that can perform the best in the lowest of light situations will go down this area where the light is, of course, going to be the lowest because the house is blocking it. So I've got a main garden in back. I'll have nut and berry bushes around. And then these areas in front of the house, which would usually have ornamental type stuff, I'm not going to have ornamental. I'm going to have herbs. And so around here, those will be, depending on what kind of sunlight they can take, what kind of low light situation they can handle. They'll be in different areas, because of course, like over here would be the best place sun-wise. I'll probably get rid of these because they don't produce anything that I can actually consume. This tree will actually be removed. I've measured how far it is from the house, and it's actually too close. Right now it's small enough that it isn't going to encroach on my foundation, but it can eventually. And the same goes with this one. It's too close. If it is left going long enough, it can break into my foundation here. And both of them don't produce anything that I can consume. Same with this bush here. It will be removed to make room for more garden space. And probably this area right here, which doesn't already fit into the 4 garden spaces, it will probably be a small herb garden for some of the stuff that can, because it will get blocked some by the house, but it'll have a good amount of sun over there. So yeah, that's and gosh, my clothesline has fallen down. I need to fix that. But yeah, I still need to and that tree back there, of course, it's dead, so that's going to be taken down as well, and put out the season and everything, because there's a lot of wood in that, so that'll be removed and set out to dry, and hopefully I can do that sometime very soon. And I don't think that it'll be able to season enough for this winter. But definitely next winter it can provide some heat for me. And over there, that the line of shrubbery and such over there, that's actually a stream. That's why it's all grown up over there. I'd like to extract some of the water from over there to use in my garden here. I still need to get a tiller to till up all of this stuff. But I've already done a lot of work. There was a lot of fencing and posts in the ground. And of course there was rocks over there that I've already removed and still have more to remove. And there was posts and such in that one there. So yeah, all of this is going to be food. With small walkways, because since it's divided into 4, there'll be walkways. And then, of course, in between the rows of the plants, you'll be able to walk. But yeah, that's all going to be... basically, my plan is that anything that I plant or have growing produces something that I consume. Either food or tea or something of that sort. Which I'm having a strong concentration on like tubers and like carrots and potatoes and beans, legumes of course, but basically everything's going to be producing something I consume. So yeah, I think that's about it for that. Got a lot of work ahead of me, but eventually I'll have something cool. So there's Casa de Nick. I've got a few hanging things and pots. I got a lot of pots inside as well. I don't know what I'll grow and everything, but I'm sure I'll figure something out. So, there's a neighbor. It looks like I need to do some painting. A lot of this stuff is flaked off. Yeah. And I don't think I'm going to do anything with most of the front yard. I don't want to upset the neighbors and have a garden in the front yard. I'll spare them that and have normal grass. Which it looks like I have a lot of work to do because a lot of it's not so green. And yeah, so I think that's about it. So, in the words of my favorite YouTube musical artist, the ukulele, push the button.